We're continuing in the Tafsir of Surah Yasin, starting with the 69th ayah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين. We did not reveal this Quran to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam as poetry. وَمَا عَلَّمْنَاهُ شِعْرًا. We did not teach him poetry. We did not impart on Muhammad the knowledge of poetry. وَمَا يَنبَغِي لَهُ. Therefore, the Quran is not poetry. The fact that it rhymes does not mean there's poetry. It's not poetry because it's not metered. That means it does not have a beat. Shi'r in Arabic has a meter or a beat. There's numerous meters in Arabic for poetry. Has a rhythm. And originally that's what poetry is. Nowadays, a person will just write anything. It has no rhyme and it has no rhythm, and they call it poetry because like he's expressing his feelings. That's the wackest poetry. وَمَا يَنبَغِي لَهُ. And poetry is not befitting for him. Yani he doesn't recite poetry. The Quran is not poetry. Allah didn't make Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam know poetry, and poetry does not befit him. He therefore does not recite poetry. And as for when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ana nabiyyu la kadhib, ana ibn Abd al-Muttalib, ana nabiyyu la kadhib, ana ibn Abd al-Muttalib," this statement from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, the scholar said it's not poetry. And they say, when they define poetry, that to be poetry needs to be metered on purpose. It's not if a person say something that can be uh, put into a rhythm, that means that he recited poetry. So poetry is rhymed, it's metered, and it's deliberate. That's what the scholars said. It's deliberate. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never recited any poetry. That statement that I just told you means the Prophet said in one of the battlefields, alayhi salatu wassalam, "I am the Prophet, no lie. I am the son of Abdul Muttalib." So he was saying statements of, he was saying statements that a warrior might say. إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين. This revelation is nothing but a lesson and an obvious Quran, a revealed, recited heavenly book. I think we passed by the likes of this kind of statement here. In huwa illa dhikr. It is not but dhikr. In is a negation. In huwa. It's not illa but. It means not anything else. The only thing it is, that's what those words mean, apparently. The only thing it is the dhikr and Quran. So this kind of statement, when you see it, this is not truly a negation of any other attribute. Like when Allah says, وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ. Muhammad is not but a prophet. In another ayah, Allah says, إِنْ أَنْتَ إِلَّا نَذِيرٌ. You are not but a warner. Is he a prophet or is he a warner? And other statements like that. So no, that this kind of statement It's not meant to negate other attributes, rather, it's meant to focus on the attribute mentioned. A person might speak like that normally. You'll say to a person, look, I'm only an advisor. It means you're not anything else. You're not a person. You're not a father or a brother or something else. إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين. This revelation is not but dhikr, a lesson, a reminder. Yani, ibrah. What does the Tafsir say? Let me see. This is ayah 69. أي ما هو إلا ذكر من الله يوعظ به الإنس والجن. A reminder from Allah by which humans and genies are lectured. So that's what's lesson supposed to mean there. And it's a reminder. Dhikr. A reminder which is a lesson for the humans and the jinn. وَقُرْآنٌ مُبِينٌ. And it's an obvious Quran. A revealed, recited heavenly book. That's what it is, not poetry. لِيُنذِرَ مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا وَيَحِقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. To warn anyone who is alive. لِيُنذِرَ مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا. To warn someone who's alive. To warn a believer, any believer with intelligence and awareness and a living heart. What's going to bring your heart to life? Faith and knowledge. Without those, your heart will die. وَيَحِقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. And so that the eternal word of torture will be fulfilled on the unthinking disbelievers who are like the dead. Yani, there's two sides here. Someone who's alive and someone who's a kafir. This Quran is لِيُنذِرَ مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا. To warn whoever was alive. That's the believer. How we know that's the believer? Because he's contrary to وَيَحِقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. And so that the eternal word of torture be fulfilled on the kafirs. So this one who's alive, is contrary to this one, these ones who are kafirs. So then this is the believer, this living one. وَيَحِقَّ الْقَوْلُ. Al-qawl, the saying of Allah. Al-qawl is al-kalam. Qawlullahi kalamuhu. The saying of God is his speech. وَيَحِقَّ الْقَوْلُ. So that what God said will come true. Not that it needs a revelation to come true, no. It doesn't need the revelation to come true. But by the revelation, the slave will become accountable. Then, when he becomes accountable and he doesn't believe and he dies as a kafir, Allah will torture him forever. لِيُنذِرَ مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا وَيَحِقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَى الْكَافِرِينَ. أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون. Do they not see? أولم يروا? Do they not know? أنا خلقنا لهم, that we created for them. Subhanallah. خلقنا لهم, we created for them. Allahu Akbar. That's true. Yani, anything we do, anything we need, Allah is the one who creates it. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا. Yani, when you make a choice, who created that? Allah created it. Does that mean you are forced? No, it doesn't mean you are forced. It means Allah will create for you to do what you choose to do. He creates for you. أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا. Did they not know that from what we did? مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما. We alone created cattle for them, making them own those animals. فهم لها مالكون. So they do what they want with them by their own discretion. Yani, that's a question. The Hamza makes the question. That very first Hamza, that's for a question. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّا خَلَقْنَا لَهُمْ. Do they not know that we created for them مِمَّا عَمِلَتْ أَيْدِينَا, from what we created, from what our, yani, from what we made? Okay, I see. Do they not know that we created for them what we made without a partner? أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما Do they not know that we created for them what we made? So it's not easy to translate. Aidina, so someone's going to say, what we made, what our hands made, that we created for them what our hands made. That's what someone might say. What's the meaning of Adina here? Okay, I see what happened here. I was looking at the Tafsir. So in the Tafsir of An-Nasafi, doesn't offer a particular word to explain Adina. So he says, he puts a piece of the ayah, the first piece. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّا خَلَقْنَا لَهُم مِّمَّا عَمِلَتْ أَيْدِينَا أَنْعَامًا. Do they not know that we created for them from, so one might say, we created for them what our hands made, an'ama, cattle. We made cattle for them. So An-Nasafi says, meaning, do they not know what we have تولينا إحداثه, what we have created, as if it's saying, what we have taken it upon ourselves to create. I'm just reluctant to say those words. As if it's saying, do they not know what we have taken it upon ourselves to create? Meaning Allah, what Allah took upon himself to create. But Yani, I can't find other words to explain what An-Nasif is saying. I'm reluctant to say those words like that. وَلَمْ يَقْدِرْ عَلَى تَوَلِّيهِ غَيْرُنَا, and no one else has the power to take it upon himself to create this. That's how An-Nasif explains the ayah. He doesn't offer any particular word for Aydina, so he just explains the sentence itself. And what is that Allah created? An'ama, cattle. Cattle here does not mean cows. You know that, inshallah. You should know that. Cattle means cows in American. It doesn't mean cows in English. Cattle includes the camels, the sheep, the goats, the cows, and other things too. But for us, the an'am religiously are, as you know, camels, cows, sheep, and goats. Do they not know about the cattle that Allah created for them? No one else could create that for them. فَهُمْ لَهَا مَالِكُونَ, and they are, therefore, because Allah created it for them, they are owners of those cattle, using them by their discretion, putting them to work, slaughtering them and eating their meat, milking them, breeding them. Allah created that for them, all of that. And in this ayah is this word we're talking about, Aydina. This word you can stick a Wahhabi with it. He's going to try, though, to get away. Because Aydina is the plural of yad. And plural in Arabic starts at 3. And the Wahhabi says Allah has 2 hands. And then he cites for you the ayah, Bima khalaqtu biyaday. Biyaday, they will say it means my 2 hands. Bal yadahu mabsutatan, they will say it means, in fact, his 2 hands are outstretched, widespread. And they don't think they are comparing him to the creations by that. They're going to say, no, it's in the Quran. We're not comparing Allah to the creations. So you say to them, well, how do you explain? Mimma amilat aydina. He's going to say, yeah, aydina. Yeah, Allah, yeah, he has 2 hands. So he hopes you're ignorant. You're going to say to him, this is a plural here. Plural in Arabic starts with 3. So why you don't say Allah has 3 or more hands? What he's going to say? He's going to say, don't you know that in Arabic you can use the plural for the dual? So what do you say to him? You say to him, so you make ta'wil then. You take it by other than its apparent meaning then. So what he's going to say, he's probably going to say, no, I don't. Okay, you get the picture here. وَذَلَّلْنَاهَا لَهُمْ فَمِنْهَا رَكُوبُهُمْ وَمِنْهَا يَأْكُلُونَ. And we made those animals docile for them. ذَلَّلْنَاهَا لَهُمْ. Those animals are domesticated. Allah gave them domesticated animals, not wild animals. Animals that live peacefully amongst the humans. فَمِنْهَا رَكُوبُهُمْ وَمِنْهَا يَأْكُلُونَ. So among them is what they ride, and among them is what they eat. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعُ وَمَشَارِبُ أَفَلَا يَشْكُرُونَ. And in those animals, they have other benefits, like their skin and hair and drinks. أَفَلَا يَشْكُرُونَ. Will they not appreciate and thus believe in the one who bestowed upon them? وَاتَّخَذُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ آلِهَةً لَعَلَّهُمْ يُنصَرُونَ. And they have taken gods instead of Allah so that they can be supported, defended from the real God's torture. How foolish. لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون. Those idols will be unable to support them, although those pagans are loyal soldiers, present and ready to die for their idols, ready to die for their lifeless stones that have no power. Subhanallah, that's misguided. It's very misguided. فَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ قَوْلُهُمْ إِنَّا نَعْلَمُ مَا يُسِرُّونَ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ. So let not what they say sadden you, O Muhammad, when they say that you are no messenger. Inna na'lamu ma yusirrun. Surely we know what they keep secret, the animosity that they harbor against you. Wama yu'linun. And we know what they openly display, and we shall pay them for it. And they do know he is the messenger also. Allah told us that in Surat Al-An'am, if you remember. The ayah means, it's not you whom they belie, O Muhammad. You are not the one they are belying, O Muhammad. It means, in secret, they really know. It includes that meaning. It means more. أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الْإِنسَانُ أَنَّا خَلَقْنَاهُ مِن نُّطْفَةٍ فَإِذَا هُوَ خَصِيمٌ مُّبِينٌ. أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الْإِنسَانُ أَنَّا خَلَقْنَاهُ مِن نُّطْفَةٍ فإذا هو خصيم مبين. Does the human not see? أَوَلَمْ يَرَ الْإِنسَانُ. Does he not know? أَنَّا خَلَقْنَاهُ مِن نُّطْفَةٍ. That we created him from a zygote. What's the zygote? That's the fused sperms from the man and the woman. When their fluids join, fuse, and then sticks to the lining of the womb. That's the nutfah, the zygote. فَإِذَا هُوَ خَصِيمٌ مُّبِينٌ. Does he not know this? Then suddenly, yani behold, though we created him from a zygote, he is an obvious disputer about what cannot happen. He is a denier of resurrection. This one who's created from insignificant, nasty fluid is arguing about what can't happen, what God can't create. He became khasimun mubin, an obvious disputer with Allah. وَضَرَبَ لَنَا مَثَلًا وَنَسِيَ خَلْقَهُ. قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم. And forgetting how he was created, yani lacking self-awareness. ضرب لنا مثلا. He made an argument against us. He posed an example. He posed an example as an argument against God. وَنَسِيَ خَلْقَهُ. Yani, while forgetting how he was created. What did he say? قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم. Saying, who could possibly revive these bones after they have decayed? And he had some bones and he crumbled them in his hands. So it disintegrated, it crumbled and fell to the ground. He said, who will revive these bones? How stupid. It's really stupid. There is no intelligence in this argument. Some people, they think they're smart, they're not smart. SubhanAllah. I saw some person, he called himself blasphemer. That's what he calls himself. Blasphemer. And he thinks he's so smart. It's so stupid. Subhanallah. قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة. Respond, O Muhammad. Say, reviving them is the act of who created them the first time. يعني يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة. Reviving them is he who initiated them the first time. So the act of, this basically in parentheses there. Reviving them is who created them the first time. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ خَلْقٍ عَلِيمٌ. And he is about every creation knowledgeable, knower. الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا. الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون. He who made fire for you from the fresh, moist tree, moist green tree. He who made fire for you, he who made fire for you from the fresh, green, the fresh, moist green tree. That's profound. Even if you don't know what this is talking about. Meaning, let's say, if you don't know what this is talking about, even if just you understand what appears from the words. Here's a tree, it's moist, it has moisture in it. Allah makes fire come out of there. You can set it on fire. On this level, even just on that level, so you don't even know what the ayah is talking about, really. Still impressive. But what is talking about? This ayah refutes the philosophers, the old Arab philosophers in particular, and anyone who was like them in what they were saying. And to understand what this ayah is saying, you need to understand some old medicinal principles. Old medicine. So not current, contemporary Western medicine, no. Old medicine, humoral. This old medicine, yani, goes back to the prophets of old, and the nations they had knowledge of this, and they still do. Maybe not some of them, though. The Arabs knew about it, the Persians knew about it. And what's this principle here to get to the point? This old medicine has a principle that all of the things, all of the objects, are hot or cold, and moist or dry. These four. So they are going about this not as a theory, as a fact, not a theory. That all of the things, all the objects, all the materials, including the humans, yani the trees, the stones, drinks, they are hot or cold, or moist or dry. Even a liquid could be dry, like coffee. Subhanallah. So interesting. So, with this principle in mind here, what were those philosophical Arabs saying? They were saying, how could there be resurrection? Indeed, life is warm and moist, and the soil is cold and dry. Now, moist and dry and cold and warm, this part's a fact, but now they are applying this somewhere. Here's where their philosophy kicks in. So they said, how could there be resurrection? Life is moist and warm, and soil is cool and dry. So life is not going to come out of the soil. They are saying once you decay, that's it. So for them, this is rational evidence. This is not irrational evidence. So Allah refuted them with this ayah. الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا. He who made fire for you from the fresh, moist, green tree. Yeah, those who would say what I just told you, they're going to understand this ayah. You might not have understood it if you didn't know that principle that some people hold fast to. Anyone who was on that type of stuff is going to understand what this ayah is getting at. How can you deny the resurrection claiming that because life is moist and warm and the soil is cool and dry, therefore no one will come back to life in their graves? Allah has given you an example of what refutes that amongst what you witness. He it is who made for you fire from the green tree. جَعَلَ لَكُم مِّنَ الشَّجَرِ الْأَخْضَرِ نَارًا. He made for you from the green tree fire. What does it mean it's a green tree? It means it's moist. It's fresh. He made fire for you come from, so fire is warm and dry. He made fire come out of the moist green tree. How's that? You are refuted. Now, I could say more, but I'm going to leave it simple there. فَإِذَا أَنْتُم مِّنْهُ تُوقِدُونَ. And behold, you use it for fuel. So you don't have an argument in denying the resurrection in this way. أَوَلَيْسَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ بِقَادِرٍ عَلَىٰ أَن يَخْلُقَ مِثْلَهُمْ بَلَىٰ وَهُوَ الْخَلَّاقُ الْعَلِيمُ. Is it not he who created the grand heavens and earth? Is not he who created the grand heavens and earth powerful to create the likes of those small people? أَوَلَيْسَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ بِقَادِرٍ. بِقَادِرٍ عَلَىٰ أَن يَخْلُقَ مِثْلَهُمْ. Is it not that he who created the heavens and earth has the power to create their likes? For sure. Bala. The ayat says the answer too. Bala, indeed. Before I got the chance to read that part, you probably said it too. Yes, indeed. And that's like the ayah in Surah Al-Nazi'at. أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها. Are you a more difficult creation? Or is the sky? And the answer is neither. For Allah is all the same. His creating one thing is like his creating anything. Nothing is easier or harder for him, no matter how big it is or whatever. But, O human, in your own regard, what do you see as grander? Your soft flesh body or the grand heavens above you? For sure, you would find the grand heavens above you more amazing than your own soft, small flesh body, your squishy body, squishable body. So is not he who created the grand heavens and earth powerful to create the likes of those small people? Bala, indeed he is. وَهُوَ الْخَلَّاقُ الْعَلِيمُ. And he is Al-Khallaq Al-Alim, the creator of very many things, knower of all. Al-Khallaq, that's one of the names of Allah. That's not one of the 99 names. And now maybe you are familiar with the pattern. You've been learning and staying in the lessons and paying attention. And maybe you just said now, or it was already in you, Al-Khallaq. That's an amplified form. Like Al-Fa'al, Al-Kadhab. وَهُوَ الْخَلَّاقُ. He is Al-Khallaq, the creator of a very many thing, of very many, a thing, very many things. Because he creates countless things simultaneously. In any one instant, in any one single moment of time, Allah creates what is beyond our comprehension in terms of number of things. إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون. His mere command, if he willed for something, is that he says to it be, and it is. Okay. Innama amru, merely his command. So you know, his command is his speech. Amruhu kalamuhu. Innama amruhu idha arada shay'a. Merely his command, when he willed something, إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول, is that he says, because his command is his speech. So his command, comma, when he willed something, comma, is that he says to it, له kun, be. So this is a verb of command. It does not mean Allah speaks letters and sounds. Rather, this created expression here informs us that Allah commands with His eternal speech, and things come into existence in accordance with His eternal command, like they come into existence in accordance with His eternal knowledge. فَيَكُونُ, then it shall be, or and it is. The way I just explained it for you is the way the Ash'aris explain it. And Imam al-Maturidi, he said this means if he will to create something, nothing will delay it from coming into existence at its time. According to him, kun is an expression of the ease of creating. The ease of creating. So according to the Ash'aris, kun is a created expression of the eternal speech. It is that Allah informs us here that He commands for things to come into being, not that He speaks letters. And according to Al-Maturidi, kun refers to the ease of creating. How so? Because it's the easiest thing for you to say. Kun. When I say easiest, that doesn't mean it has to be absolutely most easiest. It's in the realm of the easiest thing that you could say. Kun. So easy. B. فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون. So, far from imperfection is He in whose possession is the dominion of everything, and for His judgment shall you return to life. Sadaqallahul Azim. That's the end of the surah. I didn't know we were going to finish the surah tonight. I didn't expect it. Next up, Surah Safat.